Keegan Thompson, velo is down this spring training. These are his numbers so far in spring training for velo: 90, 91, 80, 91, 88, 91, 86. He hasn't topped out over 91 the whole spring training. Is this a concern? What are your guys' thoughts? Let's start with Ian.
I mean, I'm worried. I I don't know if there's any other thing to say except for I'm a little concerned, especially because I haven't seen anything super out of the ordinary outside of just like it's got to be something upstairs. I can't figure it out, but I'm concerned. Yeah, he doesn't look anything like himself. He doesn't look like the pitcher who last year had a lot of fight with every pitch and a lot of fight with, every piece of delivery that he had. He administered every pitch as if there was, I'm going to make you work for this. And if he's topping out at 91 heading into this year, which obviously, spring training, chances are it doesn't stick. But yeah, I'm concerned. There's plenty of reason to be concerned about this one right now. So
I remember going into last season, I think it was the Onto Waveland podcast, so the Athletic guys and Brett Taylor from Bleacher Nation. They were talking about Sahadev Sharma had talked to, I think, Keegan Thompson and Tommy Hotovy about the weight program that Keegan had, the strength program that he had, gone through that offseason, and what they had identified in his mechanics that they could see could push him up to the next level. And it had something to do with keeping his right leg, his right glute activated, which is a funny thing to say. I don't know. Keeping my glute activated. But it had to do with your buttocks. It had something to do with keeping that glute activated, and it allowed for a smoother weight transfer or something to do when he came to his peak, his center of balance was stronger. Something like that. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but I wonder if we're going to find out. It could be a couple of things. Maybe the offseason, strength program changed a little bit. Maybe he didn't hit it as hard. I think it's going to come down to a mechanical thing, because if you look at I'm looking at the numbers. I'll be honest. I haven't actively watched any of his outings. I mean, he's only had four appearances this spring, each one just an inning. But he hasn't given up an earned run. He's struck out 5 in 4 innings, only 1 hit and 2 walks. So the numbers look good if you don't take into account the velocity. And someone like me, I haven't seen the eye test. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's I just saw something when I was looking for his numbers, a headline, something along the lines of, as Cubs bullpen solidifies, Keegan Thompson may be the odd man out sent back to Iowa. And, you make that think okay, maybe there's a mechanical issue. Maybe he's just ramping up slower than everybody else for one reason or another. I'm not super concerned yet because it's spring. I mean, look at Steele's outings. His last outing was not great. And I
love your tweet, what you noticed. What was he trying to do?
So he was trying to, it looked like, I haven't read to see if this was the case, but it looked like he was trying to work on his arm side command. So he was throwing a lot of arm side breaking pitches that just were backing up and not coming back to the inside corner of the plate on lefties or the outside corner of the plate on righties. When he was going glove side, he looked a little bit better. Not a lot better, but a little bit better. But it just looked like a lot of his pitches, he was aiming for the outside, trying to establish that outside corner, and just was not getting it. And you'll listen to a lot of baseball podcasts during the spring. Don't look too much into the results because especially pitchers are tinkering right now. They're trying to get things dialed in and understand where they're at and what they need to continue to work on so that when the season starts, they have that in their mind. Like that's what spring training is for. Pitchers are the reason I think why spring training is as long as it is. I mean, even with Seiya and the oblique injury and obviously the necessity of ramping up in an offensive player's position, it's for the pitchers to get ready. We saw last year with the abbreviated spring training, there were more injuries out the gate. Guys were not ramped up out the gate because they didn't have that extra time in spring training. So that's to say both of these guys who obviously had big breakout seasons, I think that they'll right the ship, whether it's by the end of spring training or maybe in Thompson's case, it's after the few appearances in Iowa. And who knows, man? I mean, like the bullpen is, there's some sneaky good guys vying for bullpen positions. Like it kind of felt like Keegan was a shoo-in, but maybe he's not. And maybe it's because he needs that extra time. And I think that that's fine. And the Cubs front office did a good job of making sure they're in a good position, that they're not in trouble. They're not in a position, where they're looking bad because Keegan's not ready.